to Mallory Park, round 3 of the ThundersportGB Championships, and it's time for race 1 of the HMT Pre-National Sport 600s. Last time out, we saw Barry Teasdale, number 224. There he is on pole position. He ran superbly at Donington Park, and he's won himself a free entry into the RLR.motorsports.com Sportsman Elite races for this weekend. Who will win that prize this weekend? Second place, Mark Burdett, number 33 on the Kawasaki. He's followed by 45, Joe Newbold. And then you have number 43, and that is Chris Wilkinson, a rider that was doing so well back at Donington until that fall. He was leading the race by a mile until he fell back at Donington Park. Can he get any revenge here at Mallory? The green flag is waving at the back, and that means we're ready to go. The lights will come on and then off. Will Barry Teasdale on the Honda CBR 600 just on the right there, the red and white machine, number 224, get off to a good start? No, it's going to be the Kawasaki of number 33, Mark Burdett, that gets off to the best start from second on the grid. This class open to super stock bikes, Formula 600 bikes, but it is predominantly for rookie riders. The RLR.motorsports.com Sportsman Elite is an extremely competitive class at ThundersportGB. Therefore, this is a perfect class for those of you that are moving on to a 600 that maybe just don't quite feel you've got the speed of those guys yet. Having said that, it gives you a great racecraft, and if you win at the front of these races, the confidence it gives you means that you can move into the RLR.motorsports.com Sportsman Elite races with some relative ease, and maybe even pick up the odd point or two. But it's a good class, and it's a new one for 2012 for ThundersportGB. A great start then for number 33, Mark Burdett on the Kawasaki. He went through, and there he is leading the race, just pulling out of the slipstream. Is 224. Barry Teasdale, though, executed perfectly into Gerard's. Quite easy just to run wide there, and he does, but he's able to pull it back again. That corner, if you've ever been round, it just goes on forever here at Gerard's. Oh, and that's not the right way. Someone give him a sat-nav, folks. And who is that? That is, you got yourself stuck in the mud there. That's not the best way to be. I'm trying to get a look and see what number that is. I think that's number 35, Anthony Charlie, out on the Suzuki. It is. So, well, if you've got a spare TomTom in the paddock, I think Anthony could do with it. Back at the front, there's 224, Barry Teasdale, that leads on the Honda CBR 600. In second, Mark Burdett, number 33, on the bright green traditional colours of the Kawasaki. It looks as though we've got a rider already who's down. Is that, that's number 10, Michael Dexter, that's wandering away. Yellow flag out to indicate that incident from Dexter, who's fallen. So we've lost Michael, unfortunately. As we pan back looking at the rest of the crowd, was Chris Helliwell on the 600 we just saw, number 64. Joe Newbold, number 4, there is the Dexter's bike, in fact, that we saw a minute ago. So Dexter, that was ruined, that bike. Look at the front though here, Barry Teasdale, since he's got past Mark Burdett, he's just broken away a little bit. That was a good solid first lap there. He's up onto, he's a second quicker that last lap was Teasdale, and there is Burdett on the Kawasaki. It is number 45 next up, and number 97 it's Joe Newbold and Richie Connell. Number 97 in 4th place, but as they tip into Gerard's, still a beautifully turned out machine, the Honda CBR 600 of Barry Teasdale from Mark Burdett on the Kawasaki in the HMT Pre-National Sport 600. They're still trying to deal with number 10 there. Look at that. They can't move it. The bike is ruined, and the marshals there, well, getting the sleds out. Dexter's Honda is not having it. Mike, in fact, is son of Tony Dexter of Motodex. So we did see Mike walking away, and he looked up and okay, which is good news, but the bike certainly isn't, and the marshals are struggling to push it away. There's number 93 we just saw going through the shot there. That was Ben Neary, a rider that sort of some rounds decides that he wants to make an appearance in the top 5, and others just falls out of the top 10. Further back, that's the battle for 3rd place. Number 97, Richie Connell, just ahead of 45, Joe Newbold, and then that's the triumph, the blue and white triumph of number 16, Pierce, in 5th place. Meanwhile, at the front, there's no stopping Barry Teasdale, number 224. That last lap around, a 56 dead, which was a second quicker than Mark Burdett in second place. There is that fight for third place, spotting up between number 97 Richie Connell on the Yamaha R6 and 45 Joe Newell on the Honda. Further back there, just taking a wide exit, is a rookie. That's number 37, Nick Kavanagh, just trying to get himself up into the points. Now onto the Stebby straight. Look at that lead that has been built up by Barry Teasdale ahead of Mark Burdett. And this battle for third, almost a three-bike fight now between Connell, Newbold and number 16 Pierce. And in fact, as he runs wide just on the exit of Ed Wieners, that's given a chance for Dean Pierce to go past Joe Newbold now and move up to fourth place. This fight here for the remaining points in the top 10. Throw a blanket over all 6 of them there. Lots of rookie vests to see. There is number 35, Anthony Charlie, a rider that we saw going through the mud earlier. He's about to be lapped by Barry Teasdale during the early stages of this race, who has got a wonderful line going through Gerard. It's very much about tipping in at the right time there. If you tip in too early on, you leave yourself with a bit of work to do on the exit of Gerard's. Further back there, we've got, is that Adam Exton's number 36? It is, yeah. He's up and around a couple of other riders. In fact, Michael Golden, number 88 on the Kawasaki, is in amongst them, and Michael is second overall in the championship after a great opening round at rain hit Brands Hatch. Number 35 there, Anthony Charlie, about to be lapped then by Barry Teasdale, the race leader, as another lap is chalked off. There's Greg Scanlon, number 131, a regular with ThundersportGB, up in 8th place. Andrew Cameron, number 2, and 311 is Dan Hill. All of these riders up inside the top 10. There we see yellow flag, still stationary to its yellow flag as Ben Neary goes through in 11th place, and Michael Golden, second in the championship in 12th. And then it's Adam Extons. Back towards the front though, there's been another change now as Richie Connell loses out to Dean Pierce triumph. So Dean has now moved up into a rostrum position up to third place. He's round about 5 or 6 seconds down on Mark Burdett. But nobody is catching Barry Teasdale. 55.6, his fastest lap. In fact, Dean Pierce on that last lap, you can see in the background, if you see the bright green Kawasaki, that's Burdett in second. Look how much Pierce has closed in on him in third. And Dean Pierce has just put in the fastest lap of anyone so far in this race, a 55.476. So Mark Burdett there on the Kawasaki is going to come under some pressure shortly. There's Neary and Michael Golden once more. Number 36 now tipping in is Adam Extons on the Honda. Sonny Martin, number 11, and Stephen Kaplan just inside the points here in the HMT Pre-National Sport 600s. HMT, of course, standing for Whole Beach Motorcycle Tyres, a regular supporter of the ThundersportGB paddock. Oh, and there's a rider going off onto the grass there. That's number 37, Nick Kavanagh, and that wasn't the safest of entry points back onto the circuit there. Hand up in the air as he cuts across the front of a number of riders chasing points. Barry Teasdale still leads. There's number 33 in second, Mark Burdett, who any second now will be coming under some pressure from number 16 Pierce. Untroubled at the front though, Barry Teasdale, number 224. As I said at the start of this race, the winners do get a free entry into the next round of the RLRmotorsports.com 600 Sportsman Elite. And if things stay the way they are in this race here and in race 2 for the Pre-National Sport 600s, he'll have another entry. No, he won't into the next one actually. I'll correct myself there because you can only get that once. So it will then go to the next rider that's accumulated the most points throughout that weekend. Barry, of course, can enter that race next time up if he fancies entering for the RLR Motorsport 600 Sportsman Elite. But there is number 33, Mark Burnett in second place, and maybe we'll have a race on for second place now, as in the background there you just saw Dean Pearce closing in on him. There's the race leader going through, and a back marker, and there you have it. It's changed already. Dean Pearce does move up into second place. He was lapping about a second quicker than the Kawasaki rider. That means that we now have four different manufacturers in the top four. Honda that leads from a Kawasaki, Triumph, and then Yamaha. Last lap flag out for Barry Teasdale, and well, he can just cruise around really. It's been a faultless race from Barry. Of course, he started on pole position as he just deals there with number 19. That's Charlie Oakland, the female rider that was once at a Aprilia Super Team, just getting to grips with her dad's R6. There is Mark Burnett in third place. Nice solid riding style for Mark, and if he can keep it there, he'll be picking up 16 points. Through the bus stop chicane for the final time. That's Gary Hignett that just goes through. He'll get another lap, but it's a win here for number 224. It's been pretty easy, hasn't it? Across the line then, Prudhow's Barry Teasdale for Teasdale Racing. Takes the checkered flag and wins the HMT Pre-National Sport 600 race. And in the background there, oh, it's almost a photo finish. In fact, 500ths of a second separating Mark Burnett, who does get second place ahead of Dean Pearce. Dean Pearce caught napping across the line there. Well, 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 it's Barry Teasdale that wins this one, 6 seconds ahead of Mark Burnett. Dean Pearce slumped down to third place ahead of Richie Connell. Joe Newbold took fifth place ahead of Chris Helliwell. And in the middle there, Barry Teasdale with Mark Burnett and Dean Pearce either side.
Barry Teasdale, another lovely win in the HMT Racing Pre-National Sport 600. You're having another great weekend, aren't you?
It's a good weekend. I'm really enjoying the track. It's the first time I've ever been at Mallory Park, so it's I'm really enjoying it. I'm learning all the time, and obviously, you know, as I say, I'm getting faster every time I go out. So
it's a nice grippy circuit. That new surface definitely made a difference.
Oh yeah, it's really good. I mean, I never rode it before, but it is really grippy. I mean, the amount of speed you can carry around Gerrards is amazing. So
I think that's one of the most iconic corners on the planet, actually. I mean, it just goes on forever.
Yeah. Oh, it's really hard to learn as well.
Who would you like to thank, Barry?
Well, I've got to thank Bob Henderson, did all the help he's given us. Obviously, my mum and dad, and Premier Truck Hire and TRP as well.
Very well done, Barry. I'll let you get to your next race now.
Cheers, thank you.
Mark Burnett, number 33 in the Pre-National 600 Sports. That was quite a close one, actually, there. Did you realise how close it was?
Yeah, I could hear him every time I came in for help, and I could just hear him getting closer and closer each lap. And I couldn't help it, because every time Gerard's, my back tyre had just gone, and I was just sliding around the exit. Every time the little bumps, it was just throwing the bike out. But you know, it was absolutely fantastic rake. I mean, unlucky mistake for him, but he missed a gear coming out of Edwina's, and I just managed to come around the outside of him. But it was a brilliant race.
Yeah, fantastic. It looked good from where we were. Who have you got to thank, bud?
Oh, I've got to thank so many people. I mean, my sponsors, I mean, Elite, who are here today, Barry Shorthouse, Stuart Perry's Car Sales. They've all given me fantastic help over the last few years, and I couldn't have done it without them. But I've got to give a special thanks to all my supporters and my technician, Mick Rowland. He's spent no end of time with the bike. We had problems at Donington with the electrics, but we've non-stop work since, and we've got it sorted for today, so it's absolutely a brilliant result.
Thanks, Mark. Very well done.
Thank you very much.
Dean, that was a bit tough, and Mark said there he thought you might have missed a gear, and that's how he managed to get around you.
I missed a gear at Edwina's, which let him past. A good race, enjoyed it. Like to thank my dad and especially Steve. He put my engine together Thursday night at 9:30. Other than that, and I'm going on holiday at 5:30, so I hope I have a safe one at next one and get off.
Yeah, well, you know, anybody else you want to thank?
I just like to say hello to my kids.
Fantastic. Thanks ever so much, and well done.
On to race 2 then for the HMT Pre-National Sports 600s. No change on the grid, of course. Can Barry Teasdale, 2-2-4, there he is on the Honda CBR 600, take another win. What a weekend he's been having so far. Second on the grid, Burdett, number 33, who just pinched that second spot, didn't he, Mark? In that first race from Dean Pearce, number 6. Number 45, third on the grid, is Joe Newbold. And there's Chris Wilkinson. Look at those horrible grey clouds in the background. Hopefully they won't make their way over. Still a very wet circuit here at Mallory Park, but there are some dry lines appearing, so wet race will have been declared. You can either stick with your standard road tyres or go for the wet option. And away from the line again, a fantastic start from number 33, Mark Burdett. Is he going to take the whole shot? No, he's not. From pole position, Barry Teasdale does it again, rider from the northeast. And well, that is as wet as you are going to get it around Gerrard's, the first corner here at Mallory Park. Championship is starting to get a little bit close. Barry Teasdale's going to have his name on the top of the standings by the end of this weekend. But as they make their way down the steppy straight into Ed Wieners for the first time, it's Teasdale that leads this one from Mark Burdett, with Joe Newbold in third place on the all-white Honda. Rider Newbold that races from Morton in Marsh. As you just see there with the orange bib, number 64, that is Chris Helliwell, who's got himself a decent start there, just up alongside 131 Greg Scanlon. They make their way through and into the bus stop. It is still 2-2-4. Barry Teasdale that leads this, and if we have a repeat of the first race, expect to see Barry Teasdale sticking in some decent lap times and just pulling away from the pack. That's how he did it in race 1, and that's what he wants to do again here. He doesn't want to be troubled by anyone. Also, keep your eye on number 16, Pearce, on the Triumph. He came through from 5th or 6th last time and almost took second spot, but as he mentioned in the interview with Sid, he just missed that gear, and that allowed Mark Burdett to come through. However, he also mentioned that he's off on holiday at 5:30 this afternoon from Mallory Park, so I would imagine that he's been pulled to one side and just told that we could do without you walking on the plane with any broken bones, so don't expect to see all guns blazing from Dean Pearce at the same time as he circulates just inside the top 10. Funny time to be booking a holiday. Barry Teasdale it is that leads the race from Mark Burdett and Joe Newbold. We pan back there and we see a couple of riders including Stephen Kaplan and Michael Dexter. There's number 64, Chris Helliwell on the Yamaha R6 with the orange bib on. Doing very well for himself there. Greg Scanlon's having a decent race also. You see there, 1-2-6, that's Dean Young. Dean's been regular ThundersportGB attender since day one in 2008 when Thundersport was first put onto the British scene. But look at this lead for Barry Teasdale. The battle for third is hotting up. There's number 45, Newbold. It's 64, Helliwell, and then 131, Greg Scanlon. Through Ed Wieners they go, gently on the power as they exit Ed Wieners and then make their way into this wonderful set of turns over by the S's. And then we pan back further and you can see Adam Extance, Dean Pearce, Michael Golden, Ben Neary, Andrew Cameron. There is number 35, and that is Anthony Charlie, a rider that went grass tracking, if you remember, in that race from earlier. He's found the sat-nav in the paddock this time, and he's going the right way around the circuit. There's number 224, Barry Teasdale that leads from Burdett, Newbold, and then Helliwell. Chris Helliwell, number 64, a rider that, in fact, most of the way through the season so far, he's had one good race and one average race, so he's following that form here. There is Newbold, number 45. Looking for some sponsors on the side of that Honda by the looks of things, just up ahead of Helliwell, the rider from Rotherham, racing for WDH Racing on the Yamaha. Further back there is number 126, a nice line through Gerrard's for Dean Young. He's been using the same colour scheme since day one as well, that lovely red and yellow scheme with the 126, the same number he's used since 2008. This is the fight for second now, that's Burdett. Newbold there in third place, just ahead of Helliwell. And Greg Scanlon trying to hold on. There is number 6, just ahead of number 36, Dean Pearce, ahead of Adam Extance. Through the bus stop, here comes going to bring in Thundersport Sid, co-director of ThundersportGB. This is a new championship for 2012, Sid. What are your thoughts so far? It's excellent for riders that are just coming onto the scene that maybe aren't quite quick enough just yet to tackle the RLRmotorsports.com Sportsman 600 Elite.
Hi, Steve. Yes, well, as our slogan says, sportsman racing is where it's at. And one of the problems that we had with our original Formula 600 and Superstock 600 format is that it was rather intimidating for some of the riders because the lap times were so good. So we decided to mix them together, the Formula 600 and the Superstock 600 bikes, in a 600 Sportsman Elite group and introduce the pre-national 600 for people to come in. Now, we've made this a series where you cannot go in this if you have a national licence. So if you have a club licence, you can enter this. And obviously, it's worked because we now have two packed grids, as in the elite group and indeed this. And as you can see with all the orange vests, a lot of rookies have come in. And for Barry Teasdale, for example, it's worked a treat. He came into this not knowing really where he was going to be, and he's now doing very well also in the Sportsman Elite group.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to mention, Sid. There's this wonderful dangling carrot almost in this championship as well, where if you win the race or if you win the weekend on points, you only get the chance once, but you win an entry
Just
into the
once
next
in the
round.
season, yeah, that's right, yeah, and or another round of your nomination if you prefer that. So you know if it's not convenient for you to enter the next round, but you also get another prize for the winner of this. The once only is a setup of the machine from PCR Developments as well, and I think it's a great introduction, and it's allowing people to come into this sport on 600s and not feel intimidated.
Barry Teasdale, 224 it is that leads from Mark Burdett. In the background, although Burdett's just lost out to Joe Newbold, number 45. And look who's just on Burdett's tail there, just behind the bright green and black Kawasaki. That is Chris Helliwell, who's just put in a very good lap indeed as they make their way around Gerrard's corner. Further back, we've seen Michael Golden move up another place up into the top 8, as we see there, number 224 Barry Teasdale just pulling away from the pack. So, Sid, no national licence holders allowed in this class. What happens if you attain that national licence midway through the season?
Now you can stay in the class in that particular case if you get enough signatures and you get a national licence. It's just that the following year you cannot come back into this class if you've attained the national licence. There is one caveat to that, and that is you can enter this series on a full national licence if you have a sub 500cc machine. A classic example of that is Alec Colson, who has got a national licence and runs often in this class this year with a 440 ZXR Kawasaki.
Okay, fully understood. We just see there Dean Pearce going through. I think he's on holiday already. Number 37, Nick Kavanagh just exiting. Another rookie there with the orange vest. There's Dean Pearce, number 6 on the blue Triumph ahead of Adam Extance and Michael Golden. Golden, a rider that won a race back at Brands Hatch, the opening round of the ThundersportGB Championship. Now the idea of this, of course, hopefully to bring in some more novice riders into the championship, Sid, but it does then give the riders that opportunity that maybe finish in the top 5 of the championship, that opportunity to move up into the Sportsman Elite next year and put an assault on for the championship. I mean, Barry Teasdale already this weekend has entered the Sportsman Elite races and has got himself a decent finish. We won't give it away just in case nobody's watched the race yet, but
Yeah, no, I mean, it's given the guy some confidence, and I think this was the idea behind it. Unfortunately, it's going to be successful, but it has worked in this particular case. I have to say, this was Dave's idea, Dave Steele's idea to do this, and it's really worked well. And it's nice also to have. I mean, ThundersportGB is all about transition, and we are big on youth development, and we need a path for people to be able to come through without having to move away from our championship and go through their careers.
there, seeing another shot of 35. The rider that went grass tracking, as I mentioned earlier, that's Anthony Charlie. But there's your race leader, 224, Barry Teasdale. He's filtering his way through the traffic perfectly. He's just coming up now to put a lap on number 11, Sonny Martin on the Yamaha. Sonny Martin's up, is in 13th place. Barry Teasdale's lapping riders up to 12th and 13th. The last lap flag is out here at Mallory Park. I'd just like to say a big thanks to Thundersport Sid. Thanks for joining us, Sid, up here. It's effectively your commentary box, so thank you for letting me commentate on all the races. But here we are then, number 224, Barry Teasdale, making his way onto the Stebby Straight for the final time. Chris Halliwell has got himself up into second place ahead of Joe Newbold and Mark Burdick. Greg Scanlon's up there, up in the top 5 as well. But what a day it's been for Barry Teasdale. He's learning at every circuit he goes to, and he's proving to be quite a tasty little rider. Up into Shaw's Hairpin on the Honda CBR 600, just gently through. Careful, Barry, and he almost lost it. You can see the slippery surface flag is up at Shaw's Hairpin, and he almost threw it all away. But nevertheless, he exits the bus stop, he keeps it upright, and across the line, Podhose, Barry Teasdale wins the second HMT Pre-National Sport 600 race, and a punch in the air in the background for Chris Halliwell, the rookie. Takes second place ahead of Joe Newbold on the Honda. It's Mark Burdett in 4th place on the Kawasaki. Greg Scanlon is going to take 5th place. There's confirmation of the results then. Teasdale, Halliwell, Newbold, Burdett, Scanlon, as I just mentioned, and Adam Extons takes 6th. And on the podium there, Barry Teasdale looking very happy with himself, with Halliwell to the left and Newbold on the right.
HMT Racing Pre-National Sport 600, Barry Teasdale, another win. Fantastic weekend for you.
It's going good. It was a good race. It was tricky conditions, like obviously with it being wet. I've only rode in the wet a couple of times before as well, so I'm learning all the time with the wet tyres and how hard you can push and things like that. But it was good. I enjoyed it.
Did you have an idea how far the guys were behind?
Luckily, my mate was giving us a pit board, so I kind of keep an eye on it. Knew what was going on.
Okay, fantastic. I know you're out in the next race, but who would you like to thank?
Well, I've got to thank Bob Henderson again, obviously my dad, and Premier Truck Hire and TRP as well.
Well done, Barry. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Chris Halliwell, second place in the Pre-National 600. It was really close, actually, there. There was quite a battle between 7 bikes.
Yeah, it was very close, actually. I just ended up using the back marker to my advantage actually twice. I were quick, I just couldn't get past the boys. They're very good on the brakes, and I were maybe a little bit quicker in certain areas, but it's just one of them things, using back markers to your advantage. I did it twice, and I'm happy with second at Donington, second. They weren't even meant to be at Thundersport. I'll see you next rest of the year then.
Well, that's a good bag full of points again, and who would you like to thank?
Oh, there's plenty of players. Choky Decals, I've got Excite Technologies, Sid Smiths, I've also got all of my friends and family, all here, and Ravenfield Arms crew as we call them, who come around and watch me everywhere race, and just thank you to my uncle Mark and Glenn, who's been on phone. He couldn't get it, the suspension guy today, but we're getting there. Practice makes perfect, obviously, and hopefully we'll get better than we are doing.
Brilliant, top man, well done.
Thank you very much. Cheers, mate.
Joe Newbold, 3rd place.
Yeah.
You must be happy with that. I mean, that was a fantastic battle.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I got mugged from the back markers, but apart from that, it was all right. It went well. Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
too bad.
do you enjoy the wet or not?
I seem to be. I've been going well this weekend in the wet until I crashed yesterday, but no, it's all right. It's not too bad.
And who would you like to thank?
Everyone that's coming out with me, Arden Motorcycles, and just all the boys that come every weekend. So, thank you.
Fantastic job, and thanks for a good race, lovely spectacle.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, cheers.